I don't know if this video will ever see the light of day, but I really don't like dark romance. And there's been more of a discussion about it lately, but just personally, I've always hated it. So, hi, my name's Alyssa, and I'm a Billy fan, obviously. And if you don't know, dark romance is a subgenre of regular romance where the characters often have very big power imbalances in a relationship or have very loose morals. And I think most people are familiar with what I would like to call the Wattpad version of dark romance, which is normally just like mafia bosses killing for their girlfriends or the alpha wolves who take you into their pack or whatever. However, this is not the case with the new era of dark romance that is extremely popular on TikTok and specifically in a community called Book Talk. People in this community usually read books under the dark romance genre, and it includes themes of the main characters being held against their will in some way. Again, very strong power imbalances in the relationship, stalking and obsession, and usually the main love interest is some, like, morally gray guy who is, like, ridiculously attractive to just everybody around him. Everybody wants this guy. Most of the relationships in these books are abusive, but they are branded as romantic. These books are also heavily sexualized, and for these people in this book talk community, that is the appeal of these books. It's the spice level of them, is what they call it. To them, they think that the stalking, obsession, and extreme power imbalances are very sexy and they get off on it. And listen, I personally try not to judge what other people are into, but in a certain situation like this, I am. Because listen, if you want to do something in the bedroom with your partner, that's fine. If you're both consenting to it, whatever y'all want to do is whatever y'all want to do. It's not my issue. I ain't there. But this is people publicly romanticizing being in an abusive relationship just in their everyday lives. That is where I have an issue. More so that it is normalizing abuse for just everybody. By making this type of stuff mainstream, it just normalizes abuse for so many people, or at least I feel like tries to. In my opinion, and you do not have to agree with me, that goes for everything in this video, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, it is just what I feel. But in my opinion, these types of dark romance books are making women believe that this type of relationship is okay and the ideal sexy relationship, while it makes the other person in the relationship believe that it's okay to be unhealthily obsessed with a person or to be abusive because the other person likes it and it's seen as attractive. And over the past few months, I've actually seen more younger people on TikTok wanting to be in a toxic relationship specifically. This is like scary to me because I have seen so many young kids come online and express how they want someone to be unhealthily obsessed with them, or that they want that to be unhealthily obsessed with someone, and that's like their dream relationship. And just anytime I hear someone romanticizing that type of relationship where one person is very obsessed with the other person, it just absolutely makes my heart sink. Because I am someone who is on the receiving end of someone's obsession, and it was horrible. It was terrifying. I want to preference that I did not want this. It's not something that I was actively seeking out in this relationship. And I do not like bringing this up and talking about it much, but I do think that it is relevant here to show that I know what it's like to be in a relationship like that and why I feel so strongly about how bad it is that people are romanticizing it and like wanting to be in one so badly. So I was about a year and a half into a relationship that I was not really happy in, and this person was just always, like bringing me down and making like every single day I had just like so much worse while I was already going through it. And I mean, I was just having really bad like mood issues around that time in general because of everything. And it was kind of mainly directed at that person because they were the source of what was making me unhappy, and I started to figure that out. So around this time, I was contemplating breaking up with them, and while I was still trying to decide if it was the right decision or not, I came across a video they posted on their not so secret alternative rant account, we'll say, and I can't remember everything they said in it, but it was a lot of concerning stuff. But the main thing that stood out to me that I still remember is they said that they punish themselves when they think that they hurt or upset me. And I think you can piece together what that means. And obviously, I was concerned for this person, but it also just made me very uncomfortable. And I didn't tell them that I found the video for a few weeks, but I just grew like more distant from them because of it, and it was very weird. And when I found that, it made me start realizing just how obsessive their behavior was. Like, I started noticing so much more, and it made me so much more uncomfortable. And when I was talking to people about it, they were telling me, like, yeah, this isn't normal, like, this is, like, really unhealthily obsessive, like, this person basically made their entire personality me, if that makes sense, I feel like. It was weird, this person, like, dyed their hair the same as mine. It was weird because they were either super, like, unhealthily obsessed with me and, like, too attached, or they were, like, neglectful. Like, you never got an in-between. But being around that person, my body just started to, like, physically reject them. Like, when, like, you're around someone and, like, your heart hurts and, like, your stomach hurts, like, you just have a reaction to somebody. That's what I started having. And I was growing more distant, and again, I talked to some people about it, and they said that I should have a conversation with her, and eventually we figured out, like, a good way to approach it, so I did have a conversation with her. And, that conversation didn't go too well. Kind of just made it worse for me. I'm not too sure if that person didn't respond to me using ChatGPT, to be honest. The text just seemed very insincere, and, like, I could tell that they weren't gonna change. But at this point, I was really terrified of leaving because I thought that they were gonna kill themselves. And I know it's my fault. I know I really shouldn't have stayed as long as I did, and I'm not saying I'm perfect in this situation. I was not at all. But this is my first relationship. This person had a lot of issues that they hid from me throughout the entire relationship. It was not a good situation at all. I had no idea what I was doing, so I definitely didn't make the best decisions in some areas. But yeah, I said, let's just take a break, because I did need a break, honestly, from the obsessiveness. And this person texted me not even 12 hours saying that they missed me and didn't want to act like we were strangers anymore. Even though I said that I needed space because I was uncomfortable. Yeah, there's a lot of boundary ignoring going on. There's a lot more I could say, but I don't want to talk about it for too long. It was just really obsessive, really bad to go through. Again, I was scared to leave for like 3 months. I stayed like months longer than I should have because I was afraid that they were either going to kill themselves or me. And again, there's so much more I could talk about, but I don't want it to be too long, and I don't want this to turn into just like a vent session. But all that to say, I know what it's like to be in an obsessive relationship where the other person is obsessed with you. It was not good at all. Their mental health was absolutely horrible. I was terrified being on the receiving end of it. I didn't even know what I had done to be on the receiving end of it because I was trying to start distancing myself from them to like help prepare for the breakup. I guess, again, probably not the best decision I could have made, but I don't know. I hate it. But yes, all of that to say, you do not want to be in an obsessive relationship like that. There was nothing romantic about fearing for another person's life and my own life. It made me miserable living like that. And honestly, seeing people romanticizing it and labeling it as something that's like desirable, it makes me really mad. Like, obviously, I am so concerned for the people who want relationships like these, and whichever role they want to have in that type of relationship, they both need to get help in some way, but it makes me mad, and I don't understand why it makes me mad specifically, but it does. That's just a feeling I get when I see so many people talking about wanting someone to be so obsessed with them like that, or wanting a toxic relationship. Like, it just makes me mad. It does. But over the past few days, there's been a discussion on TikTok over a dark romance book called Haunting Adeline, and it is reportedly getting a Netflix adaptation, and people are either loving this or absolutely hating it, and I think you can guess what side I'm on. So, Haunting Adeline is a book by H.D. Carlton and is labeled as dark romance and a psychological thriller. I think there's multiple in this Haunting Adeline series. This is just one of the books, but it's about a girl named Adeline who is being stalked by a man who is connected to a trafficking ring. The story is dual perspective and involves themes of obsession and trauma becoming a love story. I have not personally read the book. I don't feel comfortable doing that. However, I did look up as much as I could about it. The relationship is very abusive. It seems like Adeline has received Stockholm Syndrome from this guy. And one of the biggest things you need to know is that this book does involve very violent rape scenes. So yeah, not a good book at all. And there's probably a lot more that this character goes through, but most people are pointing to the rape scenes. And there are multiple direct quotes from the book where the character Adeline is trying to fight this man off of her, and he's responding as if he is getting off on her trying to fight back and continuing. So that just shows that these are assaults and that this isn't something that she wants. I do not think that this should be made into a movie. I think that this movie will be very harmful. Let's talk about the argument, it's just fiction. No. It's just fiction is not an argument that I want to hear. It's just fiction. Fictional stories have just as much, if not more, of an impact than nonfiction stories. So many people have been pointing to this, and I want to as well. The 50 Shades of Grey movie is a very good example. 50 Shades of Grey has been heavily criticized by domestic abuse organizations for how it romanticizes emotional and physical abuse in relationships. It has also been reported that 50 Shades of Grey has led women into toxic relationships because of the way that it was portrayed as sexy in the movie and the book. So I'm not sure exactly how to fit this part into the video, and I'm actually filming this after I've already finished the video, or filming the first half. A woman on TikTok has made a video trying to defend the book with a definitely AI generated picture of the male main character in the book where she says, "You wouldn't let him do that to you? Look at how hot he is, though. You wouldn't let him do that? I'd let him in."
So you're telling me that if this man right here, was following you around, peeking in your windows, leaving your thornless roses on your fucking counter, that you wouldn't let him in? And, you know, no, you're fucking lying. You're fucking lying. You would not be calling the cops on him. Okay, you'd be leaving your door unlocked.
And it is just insane to me that another woman would say that. You would look at this guy. I don't even want to call him attractive because he's so, if this is truly what the character in the book is supposed to look like, he is so like perfect guy, conventionally attractive, coded, that he's ugly. You know, like there's no flaws or anything. Like he's literally just the most typical, like, perfect guy character you'll ever see, and it's disgusting to me. But it is so gross to me how an older woman can say that, like, she would let this guy who is stalking her rape her. Like, how can you look at this video and not see the issue here? I don't even know, like, I don't even, like, truly know what to say in regards to it, because it is just so insane. Like, how are you this down bad that you're posting shit like this and even just thinking it in general? I don't know, fuck this book, that's all I've got to say. Obsession happens in real life. Stalking happens in real life. Rape happens in real life. 1 in 3 women experience sexual assault or physical violence in their lifetime. Every 63 seconds, someone in the United States is assaulted. And that is just the United States. Women are excited to see another woman get raped in a movie. They are commenting things like, they better not leave that scene out, or the actor better be hot. This should not be a movie that you are getting off to. A movie about a woman being stalked and harassed and raped should not be something that you are getting off to. People have never needed an excuse to rape or sexually assault people, but you are going to give them one. They are going to see people romanticizing the rape in this movie and the assault, and they are going to just think that they're recreating someone's fantasy. If you truly have a fantasy about any type of assault, you need to talk to your partner about it and make sure you both actually consent to it. People have also tried to say that reading books like this helps with their own trauma, and I couldn't really find anything related to this much, but to me it just seems like an unhealthy way to cope. Reading about someone else going through extreme trauma and then infantilizing it doesn't seem like it would actually help at all, at least not in a healthy way, but again, that's just me. Many people have come out and criticized this movie and shared many of the same opinions that I do, and they have received many threats over it, but I stand by what I say. As a victim of sexual assault and obsession, I hate the way dark romance books are romanticized. Rape is not sexy, neither is abuse. There is a way to consume dark romantic material ethically. I'm sure there are dark romance books that are written very well and do not contain the romanticization of abuse material. And I don't want it to seem like I'm saying that stories that include these subjects shouldn't be made. I think that they can be great to spread awareness, but not when they are feeding into someone's gross fantasy. Because obviously, spreading awareness and romanticization are two completely different things. But I think that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, then like the video. Please keep it respectful in the comments. If you like this video, then consider watching another one. And then subscribe if you like that one too, I guess. And I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.